And we are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben 𝐅𝐀𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄 aka Ben Realverse World. How are you doing? Good to hear that. Today we're trying something new. For the first time ever, we had a group discussion on the podcast. We had 4 people at the table, which is dope because I couldn't do that before because I only had 2. Remember the old headset that I used to rock? It was like headphones and it had a microphone. That's how we used to do the podcast. And then I just spent about $1,200 to get these beautiful ass microphones, these arm things that we have. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. If you're not on audio, it's basically like a moving arm that I can like move, you know, so when we're trying to get comfortable, you can bring the mic with you. And then this like cloud lifter thing, which plugs into the mics. It makes it sound better. Basically, these mics are incredible. And as I was editing this podcast, I could hear the difference. So I'm glad we made this upgrade. But I think maybe for the future, for these other future group discussions, we might need to get 2 more of these mics, which we will do with the funding from Patreon. So definitely support us on Patreon, patreon.com/blackwithnocream. There's a lot of dope shit going on. The fucking Discord's blowing up today. It's been actually pretty dope to just hop in and see constant conversations in all the different group or categories or whatever. So that's been cool. But yeah, so shout out to everyone that supports us there. Today, the group discussion. Yes, we brought my boy Olufemi Tutorials. He happened to be here. My boy KAWIKA. You guys probably just heard KAWIKA's podcast. They both have been on the podcast. Josh was much earlier on, and then KAWIKA just was on a couple episodes ago. He won 2 VMAs in 1 year for Best VFX. The motherfucker's a genius. He's incredible. Josh has a very popular YouTube channel for his tutorials. He's very good at that shit. And then the boy David Malave, who is not sitting next to me right now while I record this because he's out shooting with Mary J. Blige. But yeah, we had a group discussion about interns, and I think it was incredibly helpful to just get it out there. You'll hear it. There's a whole point to all this shit, but I really love this episode, and I'm glad that we did this group discussion. And I want to know from you guys. Please comment on YouTube and let us know in the comments if you think that the group discussions are cool. Should we do more in the future? I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I'm like, man, that could be dope to just bring someone in specifically, not to just do an interview. Obviously, I would love to get the interviews with them. We can do that shit on Sundays, but maybe do like a short 20-minute thing with different creators that kill it on specific topics for a morning roast. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That'd be dope. All right. Also, Dutch Bros, shout out to them. The contest killing it, which is fucking amazing. We opened it up to 300 people, and we talked about this last morning roast. 300 people. It ended up being so quickly filled. First it was 150 contestants, and then we're like, oh shit, and Dutch Bros is like, yo, that filled up so quick. And then they got approval from the people up above to say, let's give them another 150 and see what they do with it. And we did, and we fucking filled that motherfucker out in like less than shit. It was like a matter of hours. It was pretty insane, actually. So shout out to Black with No Cream for fucking having a great opportunity provided by Dutch Bros. I'm so pumped to be partnering with these dudes. They're just providing a lot of value, and this contest is incredible. So July 3rd is the end date. We got to keep our eyes peeled for these contestants. They're all going to submit it. I'm going to find a creative way for us to like share, for everyone to share their shit somewhere so everyone can go look at all the submissions. I'll work on that soon, so I'll announce that on the podcast when we figure it out. But anyway, they also want to give everyone that listens to Black with No Cream 20% off. Yeah, 20% off their whole store, which is fucking tight. So check out their apparel shit and get yourself a mug. Their list, they said BWNC. What is the code? Well, guys, I gotta find the code. I think it's just 20 BWNC or BWNC 20. BWNC 20. There it is. Sorry, I had it on my fucking phone. I lost the thing. BWNC 20 get 20% off. Anything I want. They say that they got so much dope shit. Check out this fucking hoodie I'm wearing, which by the way, low key, I'm stealing this shit from you guys, Dutch Bros. Not the actual merch, because I know you gave it to me as a gift, but this little pocket on the side is fire. The way this shit feels is fire, and I'm jealous as fuck. The design looks fire. So yeah, I'm gonna steal some of your ideas, your merch ideas. All right, sorry, this was a long ass intro to a long ass morning roast. This is the longest morning roast we've ever done. So anyway, enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments again, please. And yeah, I fucking love y'all. Let's kick it to that motherfucking intro right about right right fucking
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time,
You will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to...
Black with no cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that. And we are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, aka Ben Real vs. World. Today I am doing something different. The morning roast is typically usually just me and Dave shooting the shit, and we're pushing the limits today. We have 2 wizards, 2 geniuses, 2 legends, and they are both,
as they say in Australia.
They're now doctors.
Yeah, we both have our doctorates. I have a doctorate in awesomeness from the University of
Cinematic
and KAWIKA.
I got mine in my hair.
KAWIKA already has awesomeness.
We have Josh, Olufemi Tutorials. You may know him better for that. He had me on there and we went viral, which is dope as fuck. And then we have KAWIKA, who is just on this podcast, and he brought his Moon Men, which if you don't know what a Moon Men is, it's something that MTV, it was a platform. They used to do music videos on it. They give out these awards every year to talented people, and KAWIKA is one of those talented people that received 2 of them for his VFX work. And then we have David Mulave, who you know very well. And this is a morning roast. We're going to dive deep into topics today. There's a great one that I would love to discuss, and it's called, what do we call it?
Interning for free.
Interning for free. The topic of interning for free, because in the Facebook group there was a good discussion going on about interning for free.
Oh, was there?
Yes. Josh doesn't have a clue what we just made him get on the podcast. He actually has no idea what's gone down. But so just recently, so I can catch you up to speed, we made a post. We currently have 2 interns. They're fucking great. Shout out to Justin Nikos, Chicago and Canada, Canadian.
Whoop, whoop.
Who help us out with the podcast and some miscellaneous random shit that we might need for Black with No Cream shit. Dave started out as a Black with No Cream podcast intern, helped me crush that shit when I first was getting it started, changed my life, right? And then a whole nother thing happened. Now he's like my right hand and all this shit. So anyway, we needed an LA intern, and I wanted to find someone that could help us elevate our YouTube channel, because I know that there's a lot of people in the Black with No Cream Facebook group that are constantly kind of like asking for tutorials and how do you do this, how do you do that. We would love to see more shit from the channel, and I know that could benefit the community, and that's the whole point of why I do everything I do. That's the whole point of why I rent this fucking office, is to be able to do shit like what we're doing right now and help bring value to creators, right? So we did just ask for a new LA intern. It's the first time ever doing it. I've done this out of my kitchen for the longest time, and the WeWork space that we had before, and my old apartment. So it's never been really in a place where I could have like motherfuckers pull up to my house, right? Because my girlfriend lives there and she's got her business, and
It was a nice kitchen.
thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's actually nicer now.
It's much nicer now.
Much nicer now. The podcast has left.
Literally, since when I left the podcast, Lauren like decorated it and made it look like for real, and it looks so cool. And I wish we would have had that shit when we were doing the podcast. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't ever. We were never in a position to be able to like have an intern pull up or have someone pull up and just be able to like work with us or be in the space or shoot shit or be creative, whatever it was. And now we are. So therefore, we asked for an intern. So I made a post and I basically said like, "Yo, we're looking for a great videographer, editor. We're just looking for someone that can help us elevate the YouTube channel, right?"
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
it's a lot of work to do that, and we've shot a lot of shit, but when it comes down to like, oh, we just need to edit it, or maybe we need to pick off a few shots, we'll be like, oh, we'll get to it later, we never do. And then that shit just sits on the hard drive, and I know it's valuable information. Like, for instance, I went and copped a drone shot with Machine Gun Kelly a while back. Dave shot all of how it happened. We had MGK like climb up a fucking billboard and get next to himself on a billboard for a movie that he just did. Wow. I did like a drone selfie. The whole intention was to talk about how that process worked, and we have all of it and just haven't done anything about it because we haven't had time.
And the video was dope too.
And the video is really dope. MGK is like very interactive with the camera. It's fun. Like, it's cool. You get to see like the backside of that shit, all that stuff. So it's just finding someone that could be an asset in that sense. So what I requested was someone that has a background in understanding how to create for YouTube. I mean, fucking 12-year-old kids are learning how to do this shit right now. I think everyone could have a decent background in it, and kind of listed out like, would love to have your own gear, whatever, because that shows me that you know what you have your own gear. That means you probably know how to shoot and edit, right? So the conversation's cool. Everyone seemed to be like fucking stoked and has gone off. It's probably one of our most liked pictures on Instagram, actually, because people are like tagging their friends and like, yo, huge opportunity, blah, blah, blah. It's Beyonce's videographer that's looking for an intern. So I see a comment. There's a comment in here, right? And I've seen this before because I've had this conversation in Black with No Cream before, because we always talk about like, when is it appropriate? This is the longest intro. I'm sorry for fucking.
No, keep going. It's still fine.
Okay. When is it appropriate to intern for free, right? That's the question. I never, in college personally, and you guys can weigh in on this, in college for me, I had an internship where my friends did like 2 or 3 in college. I only had to do 1 for some reason. But I got one and it was free, and I like worked for this dude's production company. Like that was it. I was like, oh cool, he's got gear, he's got space, he knows how to do this shit, he makes money doing this. Like this would be so cool to be in there. And it was the chillest internship. I got to just chill in a spot, use his gear, and then we just watch YouTube videos all day. I would just show him dope ones, he'd show me dope ones, and then he'd like let me edit shit. And it was cool. But I did it for free. I didn't even think twice about it, right? I've had friends that get paid to do internships too, which is cool, and it never really made sense to me, but it's usually generally like Fortune 500 companies or like accounting firms and shit, and they'll like be like, oh yeah, we'll pay you to do like a bunch of bullshit, like carry the mail around or do whatever, print papers and stuff.
Is that really an internship or a job?
It seems like a job.
No, if you're let's say you're an accounting student, you get an accounting internship with KPMG. It's a big deal for an accounting student, and they'll get paid a pretty good chunk of money for the summer to like work, but also some of those programs require them to study and do presentations and blah blah blah. But you know, the whole intention, they pay because they can, but the intention is after that internship you have a very good chance of landing a job with the company. But it's just, it goes either way. Internships do everything, because I think we'll talk about this later, but in terms of like the legality of it or whatever,
sure.
But the other way you go about it is there's companies that offer, okay, you have to be available to get school credit for this internship, and that's how you get around, okay, we're not paying you, but you're getting school credit, so you're getting something in return. And I think that's like the little facade. At the end of the day though, that's the same thing as this, except it's just credit in a different way, you know?
Well, and that's so that was what kind of brought me back to it, because in my mindset on it, I'm like, okay, I had to do the internship. It was required by my school, right? That was one thing, and I did it, and I was stoked that I got the right person, because I remember people were like, oh, I hope I get this internship with this production company or whatever for my little core group. And a lot of people didn't get the ones that they wanted, and then they got stuck doing some bullshit that they didn't like to do, right? And it was just like they didn't learn anything. It had nothing to do with what they wanted to do, but it fulfilled their college credit need. So it was kind of like, all right, cool, I'll do this shit and I'll move on. But I was blessed that I got what I got. And then when I moved to LA, it wasn't an internship. It was just I'm fucking trying to make my career start, and it never crossed my mind that what I was about to do was a form of interning, right? Like I was an assistant to Andrew, and I'll get into that in a second, but it was just another level for me to have access to something. And I think at one point it clicked for me, like, oh, this person's done what I want to do someday, and I want to figure out everything I can. My cousin Joe went to a film school or whatever, like I wanted to know what the fuck that was about. And every question I could ask him, how do you do this? How do I blah, blah, blah. So I'd ask him all these questions. I would do anything to gain the insight that he had to spend $100,000 to go do, right? And has gone on to do all kinds of other shit. And then to have people that have worked in the industry, worked in the field, have done impressive things. Why would, that some people pay for that shit, aka which is crazy, because you pay to go to college, right? And especially in the creative field, specifically video and photography, you go to pay. Like I went to college and I don't know what the fuck my professors were doing. What did they do that made them certified to teach me some shit, right? I never asked that question because I never had that mindset yet. But at the same time, looking back on it, I'm like, I remember like my documentary teacher was always like, I have a documentary film, but never showed us it. But she told me I was wrong for certain things, and I just believed it. So, and I blessed that my parents paid for this, because I was like, their dream as children was to pay for our college. But like, they paid for my college tuition, and I went, and I didn't know, but we paid that person to learn from them, right?
Right.
When people talk about free internships or not, it's like they're mad if someone's not paying you to like be there learning from them, right?
Right. I'm about to hop in.
Go for it, because I'm trying to set the precedent before I read this shit.
Yeah, no. So, sorry, I'm really hyped on this. So like, I think it's going about it all wrong. It's going about it all wrong. Internships. So first off, internships have been a thing since day one. When there were people that was a master smith, whatever, like they did metal or they did craftsmanship or whatever. Apprenticeships were a thing. You learn under a master for free, and he teaches you every single thing he knows with the goal of one day you're gonna know everything he knows and be better than him and be a master, right? So internships are about mentorship,
right? So
you're investing your time for free or whatever to learn. And I think Andrews reposted something. Andrew Sandler reposted something from some director. He said how like his number one advice was how important a mentor was, because when you have a mentor, you can duplicate their successes and avoid their mistakes.
Hell fucking yes.
And I've literally I've experienced this firsthand, because in a course of 2 years, like I'm not supposed to be where I am, you know what I mean, here, right? But I am, because I've gotten to learn under you, Ben, for 2 years straight,
right?
And every single time you've told me not to do something, or every single time you say not this or not that, or you should do this or you should do that, I'm learning something way the fuck faster than I would if I just had to fuck up and learn it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm able to have these lessons, and then if I see something works for you, I've been observant. I'm like, okay, that works. I'll do this, and that's accelerated me 5 times compared to where I would be if I wasn't. So I think that's one thing.
I think even tattoo people, when they have their apprentice, it's like years, right, of learning how to tattoo. And I think from one of my friends, they said something about tattoo artists. If you're an apprentice, you're paying either the tattoo artist a fee, or you're paying for something. You do like all this work for free, or have to actually invest money, literal money, into that person's business. And it's just like part of the system, right? Like there's all these different forms of it. Like that's what's so interesting to me about internships, is like, you can go about it in a million different ways, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, this is what I want to read. Okay. So this is the conversation that happened. So there was a poet, Brandon Dole, he commented on the post, and he said, "No pay?" ? And I said, "No pay." And then he put Nate Block put an angry face emoji next to it. And then Brandon responded to me and said that LA rent expensive, bro. Can't work for free for 3 months. So he clearly can't do it.
We're using names.
Can I just preface this real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say this is like, it's like, if the people, there's 50 people that have applied, right? So it's, if you don't want it, then you don't want it.
Yeah,
cool.
It's not for you.
But there's plenty of people that will, and they understand the value of it. I just want to say that real quick.
Totally. Yes, Kavika.
So I want to say, a lot of what you're saying is like, thank you, Ben. This is all Ben. But
no, I'm saying
it's a good way. In a good way, Ben is a great mentor and teacher. But at the same time, half of it is you.
Right.
Only now you're moving into your permanent location to live.
Right.
And like this whole time, like what were you doing? You were surviving, and you're using this internship to learn, and that was all on you.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That's that's
risky,
admirable. Yes.
I think that's half of it is like understand. Like that's what I'm saying basically is like, if you don't see the value of it, then that's your fault.
Right. And you're making that sacrifice because you want to, and look at you now. Like look where you are, look what you've done, and all that shit. And it's cool. You know?
Thanks, bro.
So okay, let me just bang through this so I can lay out what the situation was that inspired this conversation, because it ended. Okay, let me just go. So you said the rent's expensive or whatever. Justin, who's actually our intern from Canada, shout out to Justin. He's kind of going back and saying like he's explaining what I was asking for, because I think people thought I was trying to make people do like some fucking ridiculous slave labor or something.
Right.
But he said to Brandon, he says he's not asking anyone to move to LA. If you live there and need experience or connections, it may be a good opportunity. If you don't, ignore and move on. And then Nate commented and goes, "Come on, man, if you're in the position to have an intern, then you should be able to at least pay them for minimum wage, especially given that you are asking this person to already have a lot of experience and their own gear." Then Justin responded and said, "Again, there is a kid somewhere in LA living at home, or who has who can make an opportunity like this work and is hungry. Wait until you listen to Dave's podcast episode coming out this Sunday. He was in Texas, an intern for Ben, and now he's a full career in video. And then he says opportunity cost. Nate responds again, says, again, if you're in a position where your business is doing well enough that you need an employee or intern to help you get to the next level, then it should be a non-issue to pay someone minimum wage for their time, especially if you're asking people to bring their own gear and have a lot of experience already coming to the table. I suppose if gear wasn't required and they were looking to train someone with little to no experience, that's reasonable, but that's not the case. It's one thing for someone to offer free help. It's another to ask for free help. I've seen plenty of gigs for free that felt like they create opportunities. Basically, he's basically just saying, like, they have a conversation back and forth, and then it ends with Justin saying that what he's assuming is not what I'm asking. And then Nate says, oh, okay, I guess I should have kind of looked into it deeper first before I made the assumption. He says, you're right. I should have sought more clarity. Jesus, I can't talk. I should seek more clarity before making assumptions, because I did assume that this was a situation in which someone would be helping out with a high budget gig for free. In general, I still stand by the philosophy that if you have the means to take care of people, you should. However, I'm understanding this opportunity situation correctly. I should have overlooked the focus of the internship on Black Window Cream specifically, and that this isn't. I think he thought that I was like saying Ben needs an intern to do a bunch of high-end production shit that I'm making money and I'm not giving this person money.
Yeah, that was a misconception by him.
Right. You let me?
He jumped ahead.
Yeah, hop in.
I gotta get in here. So I am a firm believer in the free market. And
what about the black market?
Free market's even better. Every interaction needs to be voluntary. So that's just it. So apart from that, I sensed, and this is I'm free to talk. I'll say anything.
Say what you want, bro.
I sense a little bit of entitlement and falling to conclusions that weren't set in stone at all.
Right.
I've been seeing y'all. I know that there wasn't the case that Black with No Cream specifically is making so much money that they could start paying a full staff.
I fucking wish. Fuck.
And then a second thing is, like, you guys, Black with No Cream, Ben, there's so much there's so much value in interning here as an intern, whether it be free, whether they actually paid you. Not that you're even asking that, but it's almost like people feel entitled to take advantage of the connections and the opportunities that you would have, and regardless of the skill level that they're at, and still require payment. It's not.
I feel like you've been caught in this situation before, bro. People probably okay, he's like treading so light. Like, let me see how I should say this.
It's just like it's almost like
you're taking, but you also want to be given to.
Yeah. It's almost like they don't understand what. So I looked at this opportunity, right? And I was like, dang, I'd like to be an intern for Black with No Cream. But I just can't, because I'm like, I'm
a fucking boss ass YouTube biatch.
Busy doing other stuff, but I understood at whatever level I would say I'm at, whatever the value of this, and I wasn't even thinking I wish I could get paid. I'd be like, oh, if I had actually the time, if I wasn't trying to do my own thing,
you're right.
I would totally do this for free, just to have fun. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, my entire goal, and I appreciate what, like, after reading them have a conversation, because it was cool, because it was like I didn't see this.
It's a good conversation.
This post happened in the last 2 days, and I just haven't seen the conversation. And then KAWIKA pointed out to me, he's like, "Oh, did you see that little thing going on?" So I appreciate that Nate then kind of like saw what he was saying and backed his. Oh, I should have probably looked into this a little bit more or whatever. I
just want to debunk that a little for a second, just if you don't mind, Ben.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so like. My thought is essentially, so you got to think about this as a business, right? So just because Ben does XYZ, first, that's a different entity than Black with No Cream for the most part. So the assumption that just because Ben does this, he's rolling in dough, that means he should pay someone, is not the case. And the second case is, for any business, that's starting, if you're doing a startup, the two founders have to work for free for at least a year, maybe 2. And funnel all they can't take a salary from the business, because if they take a salary from the business, they're killing the business. So they have to put all the life into the business, right? With the goal, and the idea is what you put all that work in for free, and it's their business, so that a year or 2 down the road they can reap the rewards when it's grown, right? And that's the stage that Black with No Cream is in right now. We're in startup mode.
We're super in startup.
We're in startup mode.
Sorry, say what you were saying.
No, I've seen companies that are already established and they hire interns to do the most stupid shit, like, you know,
pick up 3 months,
pick up their laundry, pick up their car, do this. But I know Black with No Cream would never do that. You guys would only give, you know, work specific to whatever they do. Like if they're a videographer, you're gonna have them edit and shit. Right. And they're only helping Black with No Cream become what it's always wanted to be. Yeah. Like just a thing, a collective of all these creatives, and like that's just what you're trying to get to. It's not like cheap or free labor to do stupid shit for you guys. It's actually building what Black with No Cream is, and it's just the rewards are just going to keep coming after that.
I feel like it's a do I read my response? Can I read?
Nah, don't read it all. No way.
You know what's interesting too, that when the difference between how internships are thought of in the US as opposed to outside the US, and other countries, like I was just overseas, and over there there's actually an attempt. It's not an attempt. It's a thing where there's actual legislative action towards the types of internships that you can do.
Like protecting internships.
Yeah, like they actually, you have to actually, you can't really do free internships like you can over here. It's really interesting, and this is something I didn't even realize. And I just thought that was kind of a dumb approach. It's like people don't even understand the concept of free internships over there. It's something that has to be explained to them. So, and the thing is that actually takes a lot of opportunities away from people that would have actually valued free internships. I did a free internship.
I was just gonna say, if we all didn't, like all of our free internships. Did yours play a role into where you are right now?
Yes, a lot.
All of our internships have played a role into what we are doing at this very moment. Yeah. And I literally, if I had to go get paid from someone, I wouldn't be here. Right. This person wouldn't have paid me to do what they did.
Talking about it right now.
It would never have fucking happened. I would have never worked with the people I've worked with. Yeah. Josh, we would never know Josh if he didn't intern for the company that we were working with at that time. Like he came in and interned for the company that we were doing for riveting when we were doing Chris Brown's doc. Came in and interned, and we met Josh. And Josh was there. They had a lot of interns that would come through all the time. So like by that point, you just see a lot of them that come, they go, whatever. And Josh was just very curious and just would always come to the edit bay and be like, "Hey guys, what are you guys working on today?" We're like,
Can I just on top of that, every single intern that through that company, they're all doing amazing. Like because through that company they've formed connections and all that, and they're all doing amazing. Not just you, but just like everybody that I know from there.
I don't know all of them. There was like a ton of
everyone
interns
that went through the post.
Oh right. Yeah.
So like I still maintain relationships with them, and they're still they still hit me up. Brittany, it's amazing. Brittany's doing fucking amazing. Yeah, it's so cool.
But that's the like. Okay, so
and that was their first push into the door. So that's
in Josh's case, he understood. Oh, cool, riveting. They work with all these top tier artists. There's a bunch of talent that works underneath there. When you got there, you knew who everyone was. And I remember you telling me like, "Man, I'm so stoked to be here. Like, it's crazy. We're working with Andrew and like Andrew Sandler. Like, he's directing Chris's doc and all this shit." And I'm like, "How you know all this shit, Michael?" And he's like, "I just studied the fuck out of this." And I'm like, "Wow, this is crazy." And then we realized like, "Oh, he has talent." And then we built a relationship and we became friends. You know what I mean? And that shit now. You are able to say you connected with the right people, I think, that opened up doors or made it easier for you to open up doors for you to then go and make your channel on YouTube where you discuss filmmaking and editing and all the processes when it comes to that. And you can use some of those relationships that you built in that shit. One with me, like our video has like almost 500,000 views on speed fucking ramping, which is crazy. Yeah. Which is crazy. But like that's one example of like, imagine you just living in at home or wherever and you have no access to any people that are doing cool shit in LA, right? Yeah. And you were just like, I'm gonna do a speed ramping video on my own. So you do the speed ramping video and then you post it and then no one sees that shit, right? Somehow it just didn't hit. But then what if you collaborate with someone that might be a speed ramping god or you collaborate with someone that's really fucking good at driving cars fast in NASCAR or you're good at chugging beer, you know what I mean? You sit down, you sit with them, but you have to find a way to link to that person, right? And so that requires putting in time, effort, resources, and building relationships. And the best way to do it is to be like, "Yo, could I come out and connect with you. I just did it. Fucking yeah. I just did it 2 days ago with Cash Bunny. She's a fucking ill VFX artist. I want her to link with KAWIKA. You too.
Oh yeah. I know who that is.
Annie. This is KAWIKA. But she just had me come through, and she's like, "Hey, rates, whatever." I'll come through, and I was like, "All right." I've literally been turning jobs down so I could focus on Black with No Cream, which is an investment. But I'm like saying no to jobs, and the rate, I didn't even care what the rate was. I was like, I'll just come. It was like second camera, just shoot BTS of Jada Pinkett Smith on the red carpet. All right, cool. I'll come with, because I just wanted to build with her. I'm like, yo, I've been following her. She's super fucking dope, and I want to know what it's like, what she does, how she does it.
Oh, I saw that. You did that? You were a part of that?
Yeah, I was with her. And so it was cool because then we go and we did it and we built a friendship. And now she's going to be on the podcast and shit.
Yes. And now you have that relationship with her because you went out and you could have made all this money, but you chose to do that.
Yeah.
And now you have this relationship.
Easy.
That's the same thing as a free internship.
Yes. You have to pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's what this is. Internships are about relationships.
Right.
Like, and all of this is about relationships. Relationships are key. They're the one and only. Like, it doesn't matter. And you have to invest in them, investing in a mentor, investing in someone, proving to yourself to someone. And I think if you're someone and you're like considering, oh, would I do an internship? And just, you see the application, you didn't fill it out. If you were in LA in your video, you got to realize that, like, if you're sitting around and you're thinking like, man, I wish I could be working on these projects. Man, I wish I could meet that person and ask them some shit. Man, blah, 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 blah. How do you do that? You get in the room.
If you were starting
you get in the room any way you can, and you learn and you put yourself in the room and you have experience. And how do you do that? By working under someone. Because when you work under someone and you prove yourself to someone and you become valuable to someone, they begin to like you. They begin to look after you. They want you to win, which means they put you in positions to succeed. Which means you advance. You gain their context. So all of this is about relationships in my head, like, and when you see it like that versus like, if you're already coming at it like, oh, I need money, cool. Well, then you're not getting in the door, and if you're not getting in the door, then you're not going to get what you want, and you'll just be sitting there thinking like, why can't I do it? And this is what's crazy is that like so many people would love to be the intern. So many people would love any internship from anybody that they look up to, right? And here's the opportunity on a silver platter. Right? And you sit there and look at the application maybe on 2 p.m. and you're like, nah, I'll do that later. Or maybe that's not for me, or I don't really want to. I'm kind of busy. I don't want my Saturdays to be taken up or whatever. And then you're sitting next week, you're like, damn, I don't have a job, or I want to do this. And that's the difference between that and this, is taking those leaps. Okay, cool. Maybe it means I need to, okay, I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I got to take off Thursday. It's going to make a little less money or whatever. But I'm going to drive over here and do this internship. And I know that I see the value in that, because in a couple months, I'm going to make all that money back. Or I'd like to go out and play golf on Saturday, and now I'm going to have to work. Damn, that sucks. Or, okay, fuck it. Saturday's going to be my day where I'm going to work all day, 12 hours, because this is going to be important. It's just about understanding the value of it and how it plays to the future. And like, there's plenty of people who do. So it can be a negative conversation, but honestly, there are a bunch of people who understand what it is, if not before than now.
And that goes back to like, if you currently are in a position where you need to pay rent, then go get a job, because this isn't that. Right. This is a connection. I hope I can provide enough value to provide jobs, and I feel like we have some good fucking case studies of that happening. But this is a connection to potential work in the future. I work, and I say it in the I'm sure this chat will get deleted or some shit. That's why I kind of wanted to read it on the thing. But my response on the Facebook thread or whatever, I talk about Andrew Sandler. When I moved, I had one connection to dope shit, right? One connection, and it was Andrew Sandler, and he was just beginning Chris Brown's documentary, and I wanted to do everything I possibly could to be in the fucking room with him. I didn't know what that meant or anything, but as soon as he invited me into the room, I was like, oh shit, I'm here. So how do I stay here? How do I make sure he didn't start this project planning for me to be here? How do I stay in the room? And I tried to add value in every way that I possibly could. So I became an assistant to Andrew Sandler. I was just his fucking assistant, basically. Like, whatever he needed. If he needed coffee, I was grabbing it. If he needed me to load a project up, I was doing it. If he needed me to like sync fucking sound and shit and do all that dumb stuff, I would do it. I was an assistant editor. I did everything I could. You know what I mean? And that was my goal. And to me, I wasn't even looking at the future. I just knew that I got in the room. Like, holy fuck, I made it in the room. I'm from Iowa, and I just got into a room where they're making a feature documentary about one of the most controversial artists. Whether you like him or not, that's not what the conversation is about. It's about the idea that I was able to get there.
Yes.
Holy fucking shit. Do you know what that meant? It was like I had to come with the plan, which was save my money before I moved to LA, because I was prepared to spend it just like you go to the casino and throw 100 on red. I was ready to throw 10 grand on LA. That was it. That's all I had.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm going to come with 10K and I'm going to put it on LA and see what that gets me for 3 months. And that got me a lot of Uber rides from the fucking valley over to Wilshire and a bunch of fucking lunches from that dumbass deli or that fucking kebab place and all that. Like going out to do dope meetings, but I felt like I had to buy drinks and I was buying $30 fucking drinks and feeling like, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm going to be fucking poor soon. To be in the conversation. That's what it took. Right. I did that.
And think about it, bro. And this is the punchline of it all. Is think about if you came up to Andrew and Andrew asked you to come in the room and you said, "What's the day rate?" And he said nothing.
We don't have one.
He goes, "Oh, I can't do it."
It's about being strategic.
It all collapses. The entire career
like, okay,
collapses.
that's fine. Well, we don't need you.
There's no budget. Cool, I'll do it myself.
And it's not like all internships are the same. There are some free internships. I'm gonna say no take. But you got to know where there's value.
Oh yeah, of course, and that's more what it is. Just I think this conversation is more so like, okay, interning for free, good and bad, right? You don't just work for free always, but it's about understanding how to analyze an opportunity and realize that. And we talk about this in our guide, by the way.
That'll be out by the time this is out, probably.
Yeah, and that whole story's in there too.
How to charge a client guide. It's available now on BWNC.com or shopBWNC.com. And if you buy that motherfucker, that means someday we can pay our interns. Because that's part of the new business plan. God damn it.
But think about it, like it's about understand and seeing the value in things that are intangible. So it's like, cool, there's an internship.
That's a good fucking quote.
There's an internship and what does it offer me? When I got the internship, there was no promise on the door. There's no pay. How much you willing to work? I'm willing to work all day, every day. Cool. Like what it is, who knows? What all I knew was, okay, I don't need it to pay off, but I'm doing something right. I'm at home. I'm like, I'm doing this, so I'm doing something right. So let me just go hammer with this because I know that this will pay off in dividends in the future.
Right.
And it did. And you don't always see the value in things.
Right, and that's the gamble you have to take. And if you're willing to take that gamble, then find a fucking way to make money to live, you know?
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just...
Exactly.
I mean, who was it? Matt Gant for TDE. There's plenty of stories on the podcast of this.
I'll tell you one right now. Look, I just interviewed my homie Rome, okay? I won't tell you what Rome does now if you do not know who Rome is or didn't listen to that podcast. Rome moved to LA to work as a musician, and he wanted to do whatever he could to learn how to be a musician, a recording engineer, a producer, whatever you want to call it. He went to a recording school. He put money down, started the school, immediately somehow met some dude that worked at a studio, and he was able to come intern at the studio. He gets there and he realizes all these favorite artists that he's ever liked are in this room. It's a magical place to be, and he wanted to do everything he could to be in that space. Long story short, the people ended up being the people from Sublime. He ended up started helping them out in the studio, doing bullshit, helping them out, just hitting record when they needed it, whatever he could, and they brought him on. He got a job there. They didn't pay him for that job, but he just got a job, quote unquote. He was doing shit not for money. He said, yo, I need a place to stay because I can't afford this. They let him sleep in the fucking recording booth. He could have said, nah, I need money because I need to fucking have an apartment. I want to take a shit in my own bathroom, and I don't want someone recording all night while I'm sleeping. Well, guess what? He slept in that thing until he somehow became the lead singer of Sublime. He became the lead singer of Sublime because he was in the room with these people and he knew everything about them, and they grew a relationship, which turned into him just happening to play the right song at the right time at the right show where they're like, yo, we should start this band up again. And he became the new lead singer of Sublime from an internship. Sublime, bro. Like, that's fucking insane. This is just a Cali kid that fucking loved Sublime growing up and became their singer. That's fucking incredible. And there are way too many stories about that shit, and so it frustrates me when I see people, especially in Black with No Cream, because especially about Black with No Cream, when people will have discussions about and try to think they know everything. Even if the fucking guy that runs, what's the dude's name that runs Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. If I'm trying to start the next Uber, and I have an opportunity to work under whatever the fuck his name is. I will do everything it takes to spend as much time as possible to be underneath that guy, to follow that guy around. I'll fold your motherfucking laundry for 2 years until you let me start coming into your meetings and hear how you talk to people, because I'm trying to do the same shit you did.
Right.
I want to do it better than you did. I want to learn exactly what you said. I want to learn all of your mistakes so I can fucking cut corners. That's why I started this fucking podcast in the first place.
Right.
I had to do so much like I say, it's crazy. What Dave's done in this short amount of time is incredible. And the opportunity what this made, which this is what like I imagined Black with No Cream would be. And when I say it all the time, you're probably annoyed at me saying like, this is the beta test. This is the fucking, or the whatever you want to say. What Dave was able to do and how fast he's grown because of it is an example of why Black with No Cream is the fucking shit, because you have the opportunity to talk to Kawika, to talk to Josh, to now talk to Dave, who Dave had the opportunity to talk to me, who then became Beyonce's videographer with me. What the fuck?
And also just like the fact that, man, like, and the fact I work on this podcast and I still study it like I don't. And that like the access you have to the inside of these people's brains who do what you do. And if you just study these stories, go listen to 20 episodes, you'll find 12 to 15 stories of someone doing some shit on a limb and it paying off. Yeah. And them seeing the value, them wanting it enough. Right. You know what I mean? And take note. Listen to these episodes. Take note. What did this person do? Oh shit, they did this. And the more you learn, the more keys you take, these opportunities that pop up, you realize, oh, this is the one.
Right.
Shit, even me listening to your story 8 episodes in, it was apparent to me, like, your story with Andrew was inspiring. I was like, this is very parallel. Like, this makes sense to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, and so when that shit popped up, it was no brainer. It was a no brainer. It was like instant. You know what I mean?
It depends where you're at. Because I was even just thinking, what I'm hearing all you guys talking. There are definitely people that I would work for free, even at whatever point. I'm a lot more in my career than I was like 3 years ago.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like #CollinTilley. CollinTilley asked me, hey, you want to do a little thing for free? Of course I'd do it for free,
Right.
But I wouldn't do it for insert name here,
Right.
So it just literally matters where you are in your career. And I feel like no matter where you are in your career, there's always someone that's been your mentor, someone that you've looked up to, that you would still have something you can learn from if you work for free. Right. And that's all it is. It's like, it makes sense. There's always space for free internship.
You got to analyze the opportunity. You can't, if someone off the street comes up to you and says, hey, work for free for me. Like, obviously we're not saying do that. We're saying, you know what I mean?
Especially off this street.
Yeah, we're saying, definitely not off this street for sure. We're saying like,
that's actually crazy, because that's what in Davidson's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dude.
Whoa, yeah, that's true.
Jay's the dude that creates Jay's suits. He creates suits for Kevin Hart. He's like a huge men's fashion dude. Yeah. And we just had him on the podcast. And he literally went to go get a job at Staples, was 10 minutes late. The lady said, like, why would I hire you? You're 10 minutes late. So she fired him.
Interview.
Yeah, so she didn't fire him. She just didn't give him the job. He went outside and sat on the curb and was all bummed about it. And some dude pulled up on Maserati and was like, yo, what's going on with you, man? He's like, I was trying to get a job. And he's like, you want to cold call people for my real estate business? And he's like, I guess. Turned into like one of the biggest real estate people in New York, and then switched to fashion.
Bro, and first off, that story is Pursuit of Happiness if I ever heard one. like when he was saying that, I was low key, like, I was gonna text you. I was like, dude, this is that the movie? Because I'm pretty sure that happens in Pursuit of Happiness. It's the same story.
It might be.
But can you imagine though? Like, to him, he says that's the thing of his whole career. Like, he learned everything he did because he took that internship.
Right.
And I don't know if it was paid or not, but regardless.
No, he got paid. He got paid like $400, and he felt like
$400. But if you call it in New York, let's call that free.
Yeah, right. $400
for whatever, and
a week.
And that's someone that he's just off the street. He looks at this dude and he's like, okay, this guy looks like someone I would want to be with. He has a Maserati. He has a suit. He looks rich. Mm-hmm. Like, I could learn something from him. You know what I mean? And understanding that value, understanding what could be possible, plus like just the experience. Like, if you want to grow, you have to have experience, right? And you're not going to get experience by sitting around. So things like this give you experience. They put you in rooms you're not supposed to be in. They put you into situations that you wouldn't be in by yourself. Right. And then they say, figure it the fuck out. And the good thing about this one, and this, I don't want this podcast to be just about this, because it's about I want it to be more about internships. Yeah. But the good thing about this one is, you come in the room and we're gonna put our arm around you, and we're gonna show you what's up, and we're gonna help you, and we're gonna listen to you, and you're gonna Ben talks to everyone like fucking you're at their level. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not with every internship. Some internships are just do this, and that one can still be valuable too. But you know what I mean?
I think this podcast shouldn't be thought about as ripping into people thinking that paid internships should be a thing.
I would love to know a list of paid that if there is such thing. I don't know where paid internships in the creative field are. Maybe PA if you count that, but that's actually someone's fucking job.
But like it shouldn't be consumed as we're ripping into people that are against free internships.
Right.
It should be for the people that applied. All the 50 people?
Yeah.
Because just know that these people, if they get selected, they have all this opportunity, and it's crazy because we all are here because of this kind of shit.
Right.
You know?
No, that's a good point, and I don't want it to be like that either. I think, like, and that's what the point he brought up. If you can find a paid internship and you're gonna learn and you're gonna get future potential,
incredible.
And
that's fucking dope.
Fucking take that shit.
Rare as fuck, but dope.
Yeah, take that shit. You know what I'm saying? But no one. But if someone's coming to you and saying, "Hey, like, I need an intern," and then you're turning around and say, "I need something," then I'm just saying you're looking at it wrong. That's basically what it comes down to, is understanding that approach is not going to lead you anywhere, and the door's going to be closed in front of you. And if you don't know what's possible behind that door, you're going to miss out on a ton of shit.
And I think people look at this and maybe look at me and be like, because I just did I didn't do a whole series. I did 2 videos basically telling people, stop offering freaking discounts. Don't do stuff for free. That's totally true, but it has everything to do with where you're at.
Right.
If you are in a place where you're a professional and you are very talented, you have all the connections of the world, you're very talented, and you're offering stuff for free and you're driving the whole market price down, please stop doing that. But if you're in a place where you still have places where you can learn, you're not connected yet, you need the experience, don't expect to be paid for something where you're not offering enough value to basically, whenever a company hires you, you need to be offering more value than you're asking to be paid.
Facts.
And interns, it's not where an intern is, and that's totally fine.
We talk about this in the guide too. I love that. I love that analogy. I love that analogy because I compare it to this. Coming out of college, right? Let's say you're applying to any company. Let's not even talk creative. We're talking straight corporate, right? Mm-hmm. You have to show them proof on your resume and in your experience that you deserve to get the job, right? So, and then they judge on you if you're worthy of getting the job, right? And in the creative field, that's a little blurred because we don't send resumes around. We all have Instagrams. But you can't go to a company and say, hire me. And if you don't have the credibility or the experience, then you're not in the position to be making that statement. And that's because in college, to get a job, you need to have multiple internships so that you can prove to the company after you graduate that you have enough work experience that they should trust you. Right? And that's what this is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what this is. If you're in a position where you don't have the experience to go out and command what you want to command, these type of things give you the experience and give you the credibility to go out and do the things you want to do. You know what I mean?
There's I
agree.
There in the guide we also discuss like when it's almost picking your battles, right? Like you have to pick and choose your battles.
Right.
Some people are not in a position to pick a battle where they're like, oh shit, I want to go and be with this BWNC for 3 months and work my ass off and be there all the time. I would love to do that, but I literally can't because I have to pay fucking for my kid, my wife, my family, my husband, or whatever you want to name it. Like I have all these things I have to cover. I literally need to work 50, 60 hours a week and I have no other time aside. Then that's fine. But also that's your life. That's good. Do what you have to do to provide for your family, right? Mm-hmm. There are some people that are just fortunate enough to have set themselves up to find the time, right? Or to get the time. And if this is a thing that they can gravitate towards and find that it's going to help them, dope. I'm glad to offer a fucking tool. But when I see people say like, yo, what this is like, why not? Why is it not paid? Like you should definitely, you got millions of dollars. You should pay people. I'm like, bro, I do not have millions of dollars.
And whatever money we're putting into this.
A matter of fact, I've literally sunk all my money into this shit and don't have a fucking new car because of it, because I'm putting everything into this fucking space. My car died.
He wants a Tesla.
I want a guy but that's me being greedy. I'll still, even a fucking $12,000 car, I still don't want to buy because I'm still trying to put as much money and ideas into this thing as possible. But even Dave, he moved here to help build this shit. We don't have investors. I could go get one right now. I could give a chunk of this fucking idea away to someone that has fucking guapa money and doesn't give a shit. They didn't come up with this idea. I can give that away. That's fine. And then at some point, maybe they start taking control of the way this shit moves. But right now, if I can fight to have this be my idea still and run it and put the people around me that I think will gravitate and make this fucking logo or the name of Black with No Cream fully flourish into being the best creative space possible, I'm going to do everything I can. I think maybe at one point you do get investment or whatever, but right now, instead of getting investment, our alternative investment is things like this. Today's a great example. Dave is here. He's doing everything he can to not have to work on other shit, meaningless jobs or random things that, yeah, here's a few $100 here, here's $1,000 over here, XYZ. But I'm trying to put him in a position where I now am getting offered to do whatever the job is. Maybe it's a low budget thing, and instead of saying like, oh yeah, I'll do it or whatever, I can say, oh, I'll put this person on it, who they might not look at Dave as having that much experience. Now, since he's been in LA for a couple months, he's starting to get other shit besides what we did on tour. But like now they'll just trust me that I say this person's qualified to do it, and I can get Dave a bag real quick and he'll go and do whatever it is to basically give him money for rent, right? Like for our salary, like as if my business could, or whatever you want to call this, Black with No Cream, could pay Dave. I'm doing it alternatively through other jobs that I can give him that are fucking a bag. He can go grab that money, move on, do whatever he needs to do it for 4 days, and then we can spend 16 days working on Black with No Cream straight, because he doesn't have to worry about rent for like 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to we're strategizing, we're bootstrapping the fuck out of this motherfucker to make this shit pop. We're putting everything we can into this to make it shine. And my only goal is that we can grow it faster and faster and faster so we can get to where we want, which is, I think I've said it several times in this podcast. Hey guys, support us on Patreon so we can fucking keep these lights on and I can help fucking tip the interns for fucking going hammer. Like, shout out to Justin for sitting there and watching every podcast interview. Shout out to Nikos for making every all fucking social. Shout out to Dave had paid the way. He created the whole foundation for how you do that shit. Wow. This podcast would be trash. I didn't do video. I literally wouldn't start video until I think I had you. I think I filmed videos, but I never put any of them out because I didn't have time to edit them. Do you know how long it takes to fucking record a podcast and then sit down and edit that 3-camera edit, which we don't have to do. We can leave it as a 1-camera edit, and if everyone's fine with that, just mention that in a comment.
Yeah, let us know. That'd be tight.
Let's make our lives easier. But we do 3 cameras so we can give you better options and make our socials pop a little bit better and make the shareable content mean something. There's so much that goes into this shit, and so having an army of people that see the value in this, not necessarily to be like, well, fuck, I was helping Black with No Cream at the beginning. Now they're valued at $1 billion and they never pay me shit.
But guess what? And I love this. Guess what? But when it is, you wasn't with us shooting in the gym. You heard?
I just think like, dude.
No, but that's facts though. That's what it is though. Like,
there's people I help that are Black with No Cream.
If you're in the gym and you're shooting with us, you're doing the 2-a-days, then when this shit pops,
you're good, bro. You're fucking
be all good.
Gonna be good.
And you that philosophy goes with anything, right? Like if you that goes with anything. Like you don't get to be in the championship game happens and you weren't in practice all season, then you're not playing in the game.
And to be honest,
and you're like, oh, I could have been there, but I didn't.
But to be honest, there's a lot of fucking sharks out here, specifically in LA, New York, wherever you want to go. There's a lot of mean people in this fucking city. That's why we started a production company called Be a Human, because we want to be good fucking people.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yes, thank you, Josh.
I always say be a human,
but it's also it's BA and then BA.
It's Ben and Andrew. Human.
Yeah, it's actually fire,
but be a human, right? So because we've dealt with shitty people, like there are people that will use you and never fucking show you off. There's people that will fucking bury you because they don't want you to shine. There's, again, talking to fucking Davidson on the podcast. He's like, man, I've asked my friends. He said the number one thing that he wishes he would have told himself 10 years ago is to like trust in different types of people, because the people that he had been trusting in backstab him because they don't want to see him grow. He's literally asked people like, yo man, do you think I should make this suit for X or whatever he might have asked the question was, but should I work with this person? And that person will intentionally tell this dude, no, don't do it. Trust me, you don't want to do it. And then he does it, and then he realizes it's a mistake because he missed an opportunity. But that person that he asked didn't want him to succeed. That shit happens out here all the fucking time. Wow. Black with No Cream is literally a space that I spend a fuck ton of my time building for 5,200 people that I do not know to try to help them out because I needed this in Iowa. I had nothing to look to. I had nothing to... I had no one to talk to. I had no resources. I couldn't ask a question. I have a fucking guy that got 2 VMAs to respond to me. LinkedIn wasn't fucking popping like that shit. No one knows how to use that motherfucker anyway. So it's like, how do you get a hold of people? How do you ask people that have experience, or how do you find people that are in the same spot as you? Questions, and how do you push each other forward? Like, you better hope you got a gang of friends back home that are all into the same shit as you. But I didn't. I had very few. Like, everyone had their own thing, and now everyone's doing different things. I was lucky that we squatted up, but I'm saying there's a lot of people, and I see it all the time in Black with No Cream, that are like, man, I have no one to create with. I have nothing. And this group saved my life. This group literally gives me inspiration to go out and succeed. This group gave me the courage to move to this city where I could meet more creatives. I met with this person. They gave me a job. That's fucking great. Guess what? All that shit runs off the steam of, right now, Dave and I. Literally, you in that success story, or you doing this, or you having a platform to show off your cool photo of some fucking basketball player or football player or fucking rapper, is because we put our time and energy into a space. And then you're saying like, "Pay, this is fucked up." Well, do you support us on Patreon? Do you fucking buy our merch? Are you paying monthly to have this fucking platform live for you to get exposure, find jobs, and do all that shit? No, man. Like, I made it free. I made this shit. Literally made something free for people to do. I'm not saying some fucking Lord or Savior or whatever. And again, please send me a list of awesome opportunities that are paid in this fucking industry that people can apply for right now, and I will share the fuck out of it on every platform that we have at Black with No Cream, because I would love you to get paid. I would love to find my interns opportunities to get paid. I will do that I'll do whatever it takes to help my people that help me. They're helping me help you. So what the fuck is going on? Why? And then my favorite thing is, at the end of this whole shit, I said my piece in the Facebook post. If you want to see it, go look for it. But
yeah, but so he doesn't have to read it all on this podcast.
I'm not gonna read it.
You should go read it. He very impassionedly wrote a letter to everyone.
I did write a letter to everyone. KAWIKA watched me do it. I was sitting straight up. I had very good posture.
I just want you to know, whenever Ben writes like that, like very honestly great, well written, and fire, it's very rare. He's fired up.
I'm fired up.
He's fired the fuck up.
So the last 2 people, like, okay, there's that whole thread about the whole shit, whatever, going back and forth on it. It just blows my mind that there's some people that would be upset about that. And then I have comments that are like this. Rylan, he says, I can move to LA for this. It would be worth every dollar. I live in somewhere, I don't know how the fuck to say your city, Canada. Not a whole lot going on here. This is a huge opportunity.
Yes.
The next one, this one just came up. This dude, Anthony, says, man, I don't give a fuck. I'd live in my Jeep and crash in a hammock and get a gym membership and shower there every day, side job, serve, bartend, just to be out in LA for 3 months and keep my bills afloat. Opportunities like this don't grow on trees. Mindset is everything. Loans exist too. I understand debt might not be the most enticing thing, but the slight possibility that you could enter this industry from an internship such as this could pay the debt off in no time.
See, no, yeah, those are the motherfuckers that understand the risk. Yeah. They understand what's at stake, but they're willing to do it because they know what the reward is going to be, and that's what you're looking for.
High risk, high reward.
Yes,
low risk, low reward.
If you don't want to make if you don't want to make the risk, and like I want to get paid a minimum wage, then don't fucking do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just high risk, high reward.
So I would say to anyone listening to this, please take it from us. And I'm not saying please take it from us and sign up for my internship, because that shit's closed. We already got 50 people we have to look through. All right. But if you see an opportunity to work with someone that is in a position that you want to be in, if they have a connection to a position that you want to be in, if they have a connection through a fucking aunt, through her second cousins, whatever, and that's an opportunity, go mow that bitch's lawn and fucking hope that she invites you over for cookies with this person, and then maybe you can get a coffee date with this dude or this chick that is fucking killing the game and could give you 3 pieces of advice to change your life. Please do that shit, because it'll change your life, because it happened to him, it happened to him, it happened to me, it happened to him. None of us would be sitting here talking on this shit for a fucking hour when Josh needs to drive home for another hour. So shout out to Josh, because we roped him into this motherfucker.
Thank you, Josh.
You did definitely rope him in.
Talking on a podcast, man. Like, this is crazy. It's so crazy to me.
That was a really fire point. We should just end there, in my opinion.
We can. This is the first time we've ever done a group chat, so if anyone likes this, let us know.
we also had some IPAs, if you can see.
Some IPA.
Yeah.
Some IPAs.
And Josh had some fucking Chick-fil-A soda?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, all right, cool.
And me and KAWIKA got gyros off camera, so that's kind of also what I want to end on this point.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot you guys got to eat.
And my fries are cold.
But
We
no,
got a
that was fire.
That was dope.
I hope everyone fucking enjoyed this. That's really the end point, basically.
Yeah.
That's what we want to get to. It's not about this internship over the other. It's not about not this or not that. It's not about take beef, work for free or work for pay. It's literally about just understand that these are the type of things that can get you where you want to go way faster than you think, or even at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Hands
strategic.
down. All right. To end this shit for you guys, because just tell everyone where they can find your shit. So Josh again has a fucking great YouTube channel.
Everyone knows who Josh is.
He's getting back into it. 𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄 tutorials. Please find him on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please turn those motherfucking notifications on, and do it to Black with No Cream. Please, God, we need your fucking help. Is there anything else you want to tell everyone what you're up to?
That's it, guys.
Made
by 𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄 Instagram.
Okay.
Just turn those notifications on for the next tutorial. We're all waiting.
Yeah, we are waiting.
Got some good ones coming up.
KAWIKA, what's up? What do you want people to pay attention to?
He's got some really dope videos coming out soon.
VFX King.
Just search my name on YouTube. I mean, Instagram. You should find me. If you don't, I don't give a fuck.
He's best known for his appearance on H3H3's podcast, and we're so blessed to have him on ours.
It's sounds like KAWIKA, spelled like KAWIKA.
It is 𝐀𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄. That's what I always tell people. So find KAWIKA on Instagram. He just cut the most ridiculous video I've ever seen in my life for 𝐃_𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄, other podcast.
Yep.
Fucking former. How do you say that shit? He was on this shit before.
He's a former guest and future guest. We'll do part 2 soon.
Yeah, we are gonna do part 2 soon. But he just did a video in this office, which ends with the Black with No Cream logo. So be on the lookout for this. Do you know what song it was called? What's it called?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. He has a song coming out. I don't know when the video's gonna drop, but we've all seen the cut, and it is goddamn ridiculous. Sorry, guys. Beer. And David 𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄. You can find him trapped in this office. I am forcing him to do slave labor for his internship.
Yeah, help.
Yeah, fuck you.
Help me, please.
Dave, you can find Dave at Dave 𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄 on Instagram.
Yeah.
In the white, that's how you say it. If you're white, like me.
Yeah, I say that.
That's how I said it. I'm brown.
That's how I said this. But it's 𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄, right?
It is 𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐄, yeah.
𝐷𝐕𝐎𝐑𝐈𝐓𝐃.
Anything else you want them to know about you, Dave? Charge a Client guide's coming out, and we said it very smoothly in here, but I want you guys to read it too when you can.
Yeah.
It's the fucking illest shit I think me and Dave have done. We spent so much time writing. It's like 45 pages, and it bounces off my experiences or whatever. I talk about them enough, but it's kind of like a honed in version of it where we talk about how I've dealt with this shit charging clients, because I feel like that's the number one most. Oh my! I've spilled on the fucking table, guys. God damn it!
No, but for real, this guy, like, I'm really proud of it. We're both really proud of it. I think it's like the one thing that if I could go back, like, dude, if I could just go back just 2 years and read this right after college.
How much is it? I'll pay $100 for it.
I think
we're not disclosing that yet.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
Of course, it's valuable as fuck, right?
But I'm just saying, like it's all the experience that you could put into one, and if you can just take this as a guide and keep it right next to you when you're trying to land jobs, the tips and tricks in there and the stories that back it up, like, I'm proud as shit of it.
Yes.
And go get that because I think there's gonna be a lot of stories of people who use that guide and then get more money or land a job that they didn't think they could land, or take an opportunity that they might not have taken. So I think everyone should go get it.
Shop BWNC.com, and then also if you become a Patreon member, you get that motherfucker for free. So I think we're actually switching that. So depending when this comes out, I think that the homies. The goddamn homies? Which tier gets it for free? The second one.
The goddamn homies get it right now. But if you're an early adopter,
if you're in the shit right now and you're the homie, the $5 tier, you're getting it for free. But we're gonna switch that shit. We're gonna give it.
But shout out to all the people that hopped on early, because we got a good squad on there right now.
That's it. This is the end of the podcast.
For the longest group chat of all time.
This was this was a long ass morning roast, but I thought it was necessary.
We were fired up.
I hope it.
And it's actually morning too. See the daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. We woke up this morning and our whole goal was, all right, let's just chill tonight. We're just going to reset and sleep
We
early.
came here.
And here it is. It's 1 a.m.
Fuck, dude. That means I'm not going to bed till 5 again. God damn it. All right. This is it.
All right,
Ending
peace
this
out.
bit.
All right.
Bye.
Transition.